Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're doing alright. Welcome to One with the Metaverse, where we like to talk about Mirandus and other Gala games related stuff, of course, as well as other great gaming on blockchain developments out there. But for tonight, we're gonna continue talking about the Mirandus exemplars. Actually, we're gonna conclude our discussion or our kinda, small video series covering or discussing the five different races of exemplars in the world of Mirandus at the moment. At the moment, yeah. And tonight, again, we're gonna finish things off uh, with the discussion about the elf exemplars, and this is very interesting for several reasons. Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna share with you tonight or on this video. Yeah, because for the first time on the official lore, on the description on the Gala Game Store, we kind of feel a little, or not a little, we kind of feel disdain towards a certain clan or tribe, having disdain towards another, a different tribe. So it's the first time there's a mention of, conflict when it comes to the different clans or tribes uh, in this specific race. And this is very important because I find this very interesting because basically the elves are the rarest of the exemplars, and apparently will be the most powerful and will have the most unique abilities. And again, because of the numbers, because there will only be a freaking thousand elf that will ever exist, or elf exemplar that will ever exist in the world of Mirandus in the future as the game releases. So yeah, that's very interesting. I find that very interesting because again, conflict is always a good ingredient of a good game, diba? Of course, there has to be conflict for for people to game, to resolve stuff, diba? To be more competitive and to make it feel like a real world economy. And yeah, for tonight again, we're gonna talk about the elves, man. Five of them, five different tribes. Unfortunately, all of these exemplars, all the elf exemplars at the moment, is permanently sold out on the official Gala Game stores. Yeah, it says right here, even this one that doesn't have that kind of tag, sold out tag. It says 0 out of 200, and I do believe it's not gonna replenish anymore. It's not. It doesn't have a higher tier of pricing anymore. It's maxed out, so that means it's permanently sold out. Although, if you're really interested, there are a few elf exemplars being sold on the secondary market, and I'll share as well later. I'll show you guys where you can get those. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with it, but you can get it from OpenSea. So we'll have a look how much it's cost now, and in case you're interested in acquiring one. So first off, let let's kick things off, of course, with the first race, which are the Dark Sun Elves. Dark Sun Elves. Yeah, sold out. Elf exemplar, Dark Sun Elves, right there. Says here, very interesting sigils as well. These elves, man, these elf clans and tribes, they have very interesting sigils. And again, a lot of these kind of also reflect on the lore of Tolkien or Tolkien. A lot of these symbolisms on the sigils. We see a lot, or I see a lot of parallelism between these on the world of Mirandus and in the world of Tolkien, which is not a bad thing, of course. We love that. Again, the Darks and Elves. These ancient race. Oops, what happened? I moved the frame. Yeah. These ancient race believes the sun will fade, leaving only their kind. You will well see at night as long as you are outside. Yeah. According to one of an official blog post by Gala Games on Medium, I believe it's on Medium. Uh, the Darks and Elves is kind of an occult or a religious tribe, and they're actually preparing for a sort of apocalypse where the sun will stop kumbaga shining. So they're preparing for that. So they kind of started living nocturnally. They slept during the days, and they were awake during the evening. And this is very interesting because according to one or two AMA sessions with Michael McCarthy, of course, one of the brilliant guys behind the project. They specifically mentioned, I think it was him and Bitbender having a conversation, where they want to make the day and night cycle very interesting, and it will have real world or real in-game implications, because that's how it was, or during the medieval times, or if we kind of imagine ourselves being teleported to, let's say, Middle Earth. Darkness is a thing, man. It affects a lot of how people or how the inhabitants do things. And I think one thing that they mentioned is they want to make some of the creatures, or the more dangerous or aggressive creatures, kind of roam around during the evening. So it has a lot of. I can just imagine it will have a lot of implication. Like again, according to their blog post, maybe trading. You know, because more creatures are out in the world during the evening. Of course, no one's gonna be able to travel. And one of the potential way of you earning from your ability to see at night is, of course, to provide escort to merchants, to royalties, or in battle in PvP. It will have a lot of advantage. So yeah, they have a really cool. I think it's a 5-minute read on Medium about the sort of backstory behind the Darks and Elves. And again, I want to emphasize on this thought because one of the other elven race or clan disdain these guys. They disdain them, so they kind of hate them. Diba? They don't like they don't like how the Darks and Elves think that the sun will eventually, kumbaga, die out. Just use up all the hydrogen or helium, I guess. I don't know if that's an element in the world of Mirandus, but yeah, that's what the Darks and Elves are preparing for. Living in complete darkness. That's why through the years of living nocturnally, they kind of develop the ability to see better or to see well at night. And again, it has a lot of implications. And may I just stress the point that no matter how popular the game gets, and considering it's an MMORPG, man, I'm telling you, seven digits, 8-digit figures, man, are easily, can be easily reached by the population when it comes to successful MMORPGs. Comparing it, let's say, to the World of Warcraft, EVE Online, man, they can reach those numbers. And I do believe that Gala Games or Mirandus can do that as well, especially with the interest that it is gaining now. Yeah, let's see how it all unfolds, man. But yeah, imagine if the player base or the population of Mirandus, let's just say, reaches what the population or the unique users now of Axie Infinity, around 2 million plus, 2.6 million. So Imagine, let's just say, at 2 million people living in a metaverse, in a digital world. Basically, the digital version of Middle Earth, the way I see it. Having 2 million population, and then there's only 200 players who has the ability to see at night. That's a fucking sorry. That's rare, man. That's rare. That's gonna be rare. Let's see how many. I'll bring out the calculator. Let's see how it goes, man. So let's say it's 2 million total population. Sorry. Let's say there's 200 of you guys, and there's a total number of 2 million total population. Let's just say the game reaches that point. Yeah. That's 0.01%. 0.01%. That's gonna be you. You're gonna be that rare. And of course, it will have its advantage for both excelling in game, and I can just imagine making profit, either for in-game purposes or money in the real world, fiat money, right? I don't know, man. That's why we're excited. That's why we're excited about playing Mirandus. It's really that element. But yeah, so night vision again. May just also mention that they can only see well at night when they are outside. Yeah, like it is mentioned here. This is an important point because they won't be able to see well when they are in the dark underground. Because there's a different exemplars who can do that, who's able to do that, and those are the Deep Mountain clan, one of the dwarf exemplars. They're able to see in the dark, or they're able to feel the wall as it is described. Feel the walls, and they kind of able to find their way deep underground when it's dark. So, but they're not able to do that, of course, outside. So whenever it is outside, it's the darks and elves who kind of has that ability, to be able to see in the dark. And again, man, PvP, fucking hell, what advantage do you get, man? Or even warring, sieging, espionage. We expect conflicts. There's gonna be 5 kingdoms, 5 true kings, 5 citadels. Of course, there's gonna be conflict. Even in the lore alone, you can kind of feel, and that's good. That's good. Conflicts are always good. When we kind of see it in a video game perspective, it drives the economy. It drives the competitiveness of the players to grind, to boost, to farm, to craft better items. Yeah, it's a good driver. Yeah, so if you're interested in doing that, having the ability to see in the dark outside, and being one of the rarest avatar in the future world of Mirandus, Darks and Elves. It is sold out again on the official Gala Game Store, but we can get it at open season. We'll have a look later. Before we do that, let's move forward to the next Elf Exemplars. Sorry, we have to redo the filter because that's just the way the store works at the moment, and it's been noticed by a lot of users whenever we see it on Discord. It's mentioned sometimes. Yeah, let's go. Let's have a look on the next, or at the next elf, and these are the all-side elves. All-side elves, again, very interesting sigil. See, like an eye. Again, sold out. Says here, the most mysterious and oldest elven races. That's gonna count for something, right? The oldest. It is said they exist across time, letting them focus on something inside of our future. Bonus to ranged weapons. So, in in the movies, we can kind of relate, or I'm talking about the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We can kind of always, diba, relate the elves to ranged weapons like bow and arrow, diba? Even Legolas, you know, that's his main weapon of choice, and it kind of embedded this idea that elves are good at ranged weapons. So yeah, so I guess most of the elves, or if not all elves, are able to use ranged weapon. But out of the 5 different clans, it's gonna be the all side elves who'll be the most efficient, or the most deadly, the deadliest among all other exemplars to use a ranged weapon. Of course, by default. Diba? There are also a lot of things to be considered, like of course the equipment, the level, I don't know, the stats. But by default, out of all the exemplars, or all other avatars in the future, the 200 all side elves will be the most efficient in using ranged weapons. So that's a advantage, right? Especially, like I always say, that it's a very it's very punishing, according to the devs in the world, or in game. So, diba, uh, doing damage, or hunting, or supporting your team from a distance is always good, right? Always good. So DPS class right here, all side elves. So if that's how you like playing, doing DPS, range DPS to be exact, might be the class for you. So the oldest, again, this is maybe pertaining to out of all the 5 different races. And actually, I noticed that when it wasn't sold out yet, a few months back, when it wasn't all sold out yet, the elves, the highest price out of all the 5 different tribes or clans are the all side elves. It kind of implies that it was the first one to be to kind of be sold. More people bought the all side elves compared to the other elven classes, and maybe because they're the oldest, I don't know. But yeah, all side elves, man. Range bonus to range weapons. Who wouldn't like that? Moving on to the next tribe or clan. On the Gala blog post, they called it different tribes. So I think it's safe to call them tribes. 5 different tribes of elves. But then again, I kind of heard on one of the interviews they called them clans. So I guess we can use any of those 2 terms. Let's go to the elf exemplar, the Earthlight elves. Okay, this is very special to me because this is the class that I'll be using when the game comes out. So I'm excited for this. So no bias, no. Elf exemplar, the Earthlight elves. Again, the sigil, very interesting right there. They like using the eye. Maybe that symbolizes something. I don't know. The Dark Sun elves had an eye, I think. I don't know. Let's have a look later. The All Sight elves definitely had an eye on their logo. The Earthlight elves now. Let's read on. These elves believe the earth is like a sun, casting its own light in the form of magic energy. All spells come naturally, costing less energy to cast. Yeah. Less energy to cast. So this is kind of a mage. A mage. Yeah. Magic, Magic DPS. I don't know, Magic support, but anything related to Magic, I guess they're gonna be the one of the most efficient when it comes to using up their energy when casting skills, diba? Doing magic. And again, if you're going out hunting or questing, having or being efficient with the use of energies, will have its advantage, I guess. So that's their unique trait. All spells comes naturally. So again, magic, man. Magic is a big deal in the world of Mirandus, as I see it. It's my opinion. Just because it's written in several what do you call them, like blog posts, the lore. They from time to time, what Gala Games do, they provide bits and pieces of the lore. They'll mention something on Discord, they'll announce something on Discord. Sometimes they announce or they post something on the Medium website. Sometimes they mention stuff on interviews. So having seen some of them or having read or heard some of them, magic, it seems that magic is always mentioned. Magic is always mentioned, especially in the currency Ethereum. Magic is like heavily implicated because yeah, it's like magic is the currency, the main currency of the world, because it can do so many things like resurrect, heal, complete crafting materials, I don't know, cast magic, whatever. But it seems that magic is one of the main element of the world. So it's interesting that I find it very very advantageous if we're able to cast magic using less energy. So yeah, especially if you're gonna go out hunting with a party, diba? You'll have space. If you see it on a traditional sense, diba? If you're hunting out with a party or going out adventuring with a party or a group or a guild, diba? You'll have more people and there will be dynamics. There will be dynamics on how you do stuff. Like the tank will get the aggro, the support will support, and then the DPS classes, the damage dealers, like the magic casters, will have space to kinda do their thing, cast magic, do damage. So yeah, I mentioned this because there are basically two clans that are heavily engaged in magic when it comes to the different clans. I'm pertaining to the other elven clan, which are the Everflow elves. Yeah, they do. They're good at casting magic as well, but with a different take. So we'll have a look later. But for the Earthlight elves, again, less mana to cast mana. It's not confirmed that they will call it mana, but less energy to cast magic or to cast spells, I guess. So yeah, again, 200, only 200 will ever exist in the world of Mirandus. Very rare. And again, probably one of the best damage dealers, I guess. Same as with the All Sight Elves. They're gonna be a good DPS class. Basically because they have bonus damage to ranged weapons. So this time with the Earthlight Elves, I guess they're one of the most efficient when doing magic DPS. And yeah, so again, that's the third of the elven clans. Moving on to the next. But before we do that, we have to do the filter again. I guess next time I'll prepare more tabs, but we don't want the video to kind of be confusing as well. So let us see on to the next clan, which are, yeah, it's confirmed, All of the sigils have eyes on them. Even the Brighton elves. Let's click on that. Let's have a look. The elf exemplar, the Brighton elves. Now or these are the elves that I kind of mentioned earlier when we talked about the Darks and elves. These are the guys that kind of disdain them, as we can read. Yeah, let's have a look at the description. It says here, these these elves disdain the dark elves, believing the sun will never cease and provide everything within its race. So these guys are basically sun worshippers. Sun worshippers. And they really disdain, or they kind of hate the the darks and elves for believing that basically their god will cease to exist soon. So yeah, you can feel the tension behind the two tribes. But uh what this does is, it's not mentioned here, but in one of the blog posts, it says that these elves are the best at converting energy to HP, or to hit points. Diba? That's a common element of MMORPGs. You have to maintain, a hit point or an HP of 1 or above. If it gets to 0, you die. For all of you guys who's not familiar with what HP stands for when it comes to video games. But yeah, uh, they're the best at healing. I guess either themselves, or their party, or their friends, or a stranger. I don't know. It wasn't mentioned, but again, they're gonna be the best at converting energy to HP. So that's basically the best healing class. The best healing class. And it says on the blog post as well, one of their skill is called the satiation of soul. I guess that's the healing. They get more efficient at healing whenever, I guess, it's daytime. Yeah, that's why during the day the brights and the elves are more powerful. During the night, it's the darks and elves that kind of excels. So right off the bat, we can kind of feel conflict behind the two races. And it also, I don't know if that also reflects on the citadels. Maybe on the next video we'll have a look at the 5 different citadels, because I see a kind of relationship with the affiliation, affiliation of the elements. Let's see. Let's have a look on the next video. But moving on, again, imagine the 200 brights and elves. Those 200 players or avatars will be the best by default. Again, by default, will be the best healers in the world of Mirandus, no matter how big the population of the game gets. The 200 of you elves, or brights and elves, will be the best healing class. And if you're working, or if you're playing with a group, that will have a lot of advantage. Yeah. Healers are one of the pillars sa Trinity ng, di ba, strategic gaming. The tank, the DPS, and the healer. Of course, it's one of the main role. So it's not gonna be for everyone, but I do know a lot of people, or some of my friends are like playing the role of a healer. It's not for everyone. But again, if you're into healing or providing support, keeping yourself and your party alive, especially in a game or a world that death matters a lot, I guess you can call it that. Yeah. It's always good to have a healer or a brights and elves on your party. Yeah. Imagine 200 only. Even if the population gets to, let's just say, 1 million, that's still gonna be rare, man. I don't know. Yeah. Let's move on to the last one. Or to the last Elvish clan. Which, of course, again, we have to redo the filter. And they are the Everflows. Again, the sigil right there. Yeah, it looks like a sun radiating. And then a cross and sort of an eye. Yeah. Last one. The elf or the Everflow elves. Again, sold out. Let's read on. These elves meditate on the art of conductivity and do not have a language for casting. Imagine how negligible casting has to be in your culture for you guys not to even have a word for it. Imagine that, man. That is because they believe spells are just energy passing through you, bonus to casting speed. So again, this is a huge advantage, especially if you're doing, I don't know, PvPing, or if you're trying to uh, play by yourself or with a smaller group. If you don't have the space to, or if you don't have the liberty to, take your time and cast your spells and wait for cooldowns or whatnot. You know, having a or being an Everflow elf will have a huge advantage. Casting spells faster. Especially, it's a common game mechanic in some video games or in some MMORPGs that players sometimes, will have limited mobility when casting their spells, their magics. Because sometimes you have to stop or sometimes you have to walk slower. It's not always the case, but in some MMORPGs, that's how the mechanic works. And yeah, so casting your spell faster, that means you're gonna be able to reposition yourself or take on the next action, whatever you have to do next, because you're gonna be able to cast your spells faster. And again, that's gonna be a huge advantage. Actually, between the Earthlight elves and the Everflow elves, I was choosing between the two when I was uh, buying my exemplars, and I kind of lean towards the Earthlight elves because I plan on playing with the group anyway. So uh, I guess I'll have the liberty to kind of take my time in the future when casting spells, because there are other players with you taking aggro or tanking for the party. So that's always good. So again, but Everflow elves, man, they will have a huge advantage. Whatever you're doing, especially in adventuring. In adventuring, we kind of noticed that the humans are good at crafting and farming and other stuff, but the orcs has their own specialty at hunting, and the dwarves for mining and blacksmithing, and then the halflings for being more ninja like or assassin like. But we can kind of feel a different vibe with the elves, magic and ranged weapons and healing, all the cornerstones of a good I mean avatar. It will have a lot of utility. You'll be able to hunt, you'll be able to defend yourself, you'll be able to provide service or escort, you'll be able to fight for your kingdom if you have an affiliation. I don't know, man. But being powerful, in a medieval fantasy world, man, it's not a bad thing, I guess. Especially if you can make money out of your loot, out of your craft, out of whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to acquire in game, whatever wealth you're trying to generate in game. It may have in the future real life implications financially for those people who's gonna play or who's gonna immerse themselves in the world of Mirandus. Hopefully, again, by next year, by the end of next year. Again, Everflow elves, the fastest casters, the fastest magic casters. I guess in the next few videos, we'll kind of have a look at the lore, especially the lore related to magic. Because again, I want to share my enthusiasm on on the magic related stuff on Mirandus. That's why I chose to play in the future as an Everflow elf, or sorry, an Everflow, an Earthlight elves. Because again, magic seems to be always be mentioned whenever the game devs, the people, uh, the best team at the moment when it comes to gaming on blockchain, whenever they kind of talk about Mirandus, it seems that magic is always mentioned, and in the lores as well, on the different media that they're releasing. I guess on the next few videos we'll have a look on those. Let's try to indulge. I don't know, but yeah. So the Everflow Elf, this is the fifth one. So this is the last one, the last of the five elven tribes or clans. Again, an eye on the sigil. I don't know what that kind of represents or symbolizes, but it's interesting. I'll guess we'll find out, or we'll find out in the future, as Gala releases more, cool stuff, or cool article or videos about the exemplars, or the world of Mirandus in general. The world of Mirandus in general. We're also excited because uh, the game devs or Gala Games mentioned that there's an upcoming playtest this December. So people who have an avatar or who have an exemplar in their inventory, or in their Gala Games inventory, will be able to participate on the playtest. Uh, and you'll be able, as I understand it, you'll be able to acquire Materium. Materium. I'm just not sure if it's available to everyone, or if it's gonna be uh, very limited to people who will attend the Galaverse. Let's see how it goes. I'll have a look. I'll have a look on the write up about it. Whether everyone who owns an exemplar will be able to play, but I'll guess I'll have a look. So I don't give you guys the wrong information. I'll have a look, and then I'll share it on the next video or two. We'll talk about more on Gala Games related stuff, or Miranda's related stuff in the future, man. There's a lot of things to talk about and discuss, and there's a lot of things that we find interesting, because it relates to the Middle Earth basically. So that's always good. And yeah, again, 5 different races, 50,000 exemplars. Only 50,000 will ever exist in the world of Mirandus. 50,001 up. They're gonna be, I guess, common humans, according to what we've heard from the AMAs at the moment. We're just not sure if they're gonna release, a different variation of avatars in the future. Who knows, man. But at the moment, I think that's the general plan on how they wanna take the project. So again, yeah. So again, on the Gala Games official website, it's officially sold out. So, but don't worry, if you're really interested in one, they are available on OpenSea. Though they are a bit pricey at the moment. Yeah, as you can see here, all site elves 6.5 ETH. Elf exemplar, Bright Sun elves, the healers, the best healing clan or tribe, around 2 million pesos, or around 40,000 USD. The Earthlight elves, 10 Ethereum, so roughly around 40,000 USD, or 2 million pesos plus. Everflow elves 11.2 ETH, and then the Dark Sun elves seems to be the most desirable at the moment, because it's the highest priced one, 1.4 ETH 1.4 ETH for one of these darks and elves. One of 200. One of 200 that will ever exist. So very rare right there. So I guess that ends our talk or discussion about the different Mirandus elf exemplars. We'll talk about more on the elves. That's kind of related to how Tolkien has written it on his novels or on his books and stories. Because they're very interesting. All the backstories, the lore, the the bloodline, the pedigree of these stories, man. I know a lot of you guys enjoy it as well, so maybe we'll talk about that in the future. I don't know, man. Maybe we'll do a lazy stream, just reading the lore and stuff, or listening to, or watching videos about the stories. I don't know, man. That's the general game plan. Again, I'll end the discussion here on the elves. I'm excited about the future of Mirandus, man. I'm looking forward to it. Although we've ended our discussion or our talk regarding the exemplars. Yeah, here they are. Some of them are sold out. Some of them are still available. Of course, different price tiering, different price for each. It starts at around, I don't know, 500 USD or 20 to 25,000 pesos, the human exemplars. And it goes up to the millions, depending on the avatar or the exemplar. So, but again, I also want to mention, for of you guys who's interested in Mirandus but is not able to acquire an NFT or an exemplar, do not worry, because from what we've heard from Gala Games is that there's gonna be a free-to-play feature in the future. So feature in the future, huh? Yeah, via the sanctuary system. Let's try to talk about that as well in the future. A lot of things to talk about Gala Games, man. Let's have a look at the buildings. Let's have a look at the deeds. Although they're all sold out as well. Again, some of them are available on OpenSea. So let's have a look on those deeds and buildings. Let's talk about how they will work. I don't know, man. If you have any suggestions on the things we want to talk about, Mirandus, a specific area of the game or the world building that's happening that you want to talk about, man, just comment down below. I kind of read all of them because there's, I still have the time to do that now. But again, yeah, if you want to talk about that, man, let me know. And I'm always willing to, talk about anything related to Mirandus. I'm excited about the game. I'm excited to, the opportunity it will bring to me and my community. And yeah, and basically the whole gaming subculture, man. I'm just happy for, people who grew up, spent time and resources, playing video games. And now, the possibility of earning for yourself and your family, man, is here by playing a video game, man. How cool is that? Doing something you love, right? So yeah, that's all we want, where we all want to be, and that's why we're excited for the revolution that is NFT gaming, or gaming on blockchain, as we want to call it now. We prefer to call it gaming on blockchain. But yeah, again, I'll try to end the video here. And good night. Thank you for the guys who kind of dropped by and watched the video. And I guess, yeah, thanks, man. I'm struggling to find the stop recording video or button. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, man. Thanks, everyone. Peace and love. Yeah.